The activist Rachel Taylor writes this. She says, the real secret of the apocalypse is not that it comes with a bang or a whimper, but that it comes when you're doing other things. You're taking the kids to school, paying the bills, going to see your friends play. All the stuff of normal life happens until it doesn't. For you. But your neighbor still has to do the laundry and schlep his mom to the grocery store. So you try to keep going and take care of things that are still working, while also trying to fight injustice and stop genocide. You do what you can. Some days it's just surviving. Other days you can put your body between the machine and those more vulnerable than you are. But you can't do that every day until you have to. The secret is that you don't get a break to build a better world. You have to do it while still surviving this one. You have to do it like a secret obsession, like a shameful hobby. You have to do it because it is exciting and dangerous and subversive and necessary. You have to share it with other kinksters like yourself because you're not alone in that wanting. And you still have to do the dishes. There's a way to live in this world holding reality and grief and hope all together exactly at the same time. There's a way to live toward a hopeful future, not just running from a fearful apocalypse. And our work in that world, in this world, is to be spiritually and emotionally grounded enough to live into the fact that death and rebirth are both happening at once. In this moment, in this place, in our own ordinary lives while we do the dishes. Often, we look at a problem like climate change and consider what's wrong, what's broken. We start with what we don't like about the situation, the scale and scope and terror of climate catastrophe. And that can be true without always being useful, exactly. Feeling overwhelmed, I don't know if this is true for you. When I am overwhelmed, I shut down. Overwhelmed does not motivate me to action. But there is another way. There is a way to do this work centered in love. Thinking about what we love and how we might grow or preserve or help the things that we love thrive. I invite you into that, to close your eyes just for a moment and think of what is it in this world, what is something that you love, a place maybe, a meadow, a stream, what is a moment? Sunset over the mountains, what is a feeling? Hearing the sound of waves on the shore. What is it that you love about this world and want to pass forward? Will you tell me, raise a hand, share one. Who can share one? Yeah. Fresh air. Fresh air. What else? What is it that you love about this place?
Fall colors.
Say again?
Fall colors.
Fall colors. Yes, this explosion of color. What else? Dramatic rock. We don't have boring rock around here. We have dramatic rock. Yes. Yes. What else? What else? Glaciers. Yeah. Animals in the mountain. The elk and their weird sounds. Yes. What else? Yeah, Rebecca. Clean water. Yeah. Clean water. What else? Wildflowers. Wildflowers.
Healthy grandchildren.
Healthy grandchildren, absolutely. Health. Food to nourish us. Bird song. Bird song. These are the things. No more plastic. These are the things to hold and carry with you and remember. These are the things not to answer, but to hold alongside all the anxieties and the fears, is to remember, what is it that you love? What are you working for? Not just running from. This is a demanding thing that I'm inviting you to practice. And it feels, for me, it feels especially hard in these final weeks before the presidential election. Because I find myself living with an unseen, hovering anxiety that just comes with me all the time, like there's a balloon trailing behind me. It isn't like this for you right now, yeah. There's a sense of precariousness, not just that I don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks, but I don't know what is happening in this country. Bitter and brutal, divided, ignorant, angry. To be spiritually and emotionally grounded means feeling those feelings. And in the weeks to come, whether it's election or climate, that anxiety shows up in your life in all sorts of different ways. Maybe it is low energy, no matter how much you sleep, not being able to concentrate. Maybe you need comfort and reassurance in a way that you don't usually. My carbohydrate intake. Right? Maybe you overeat or undereat. Maybe this feels in your body like an anxious nervousness and irritability. Maybe it actually feels not like irritability, but everybody else has a problem. That's irritability. And nothing's quite right. And you put on your favorite socks and they're scratchy. When did they become scratchy? I wrote this a few days ago, and this literally happened to me this morning. Maybe you feel this in your body. You're extra cold or extra hot, or your fingertips tingle, or your muscles twitch at random. Rachel reminded me this week that if you grew up or if you moved through life in a place where anxiety wasn't acknowledged, where no one ever said or named it, you may not know that all that jumble of things you're feeling, that is what anxiety is. So there it is. True without being useful exactly. But our work is to not deny it or ignore it, not to pretend that it isn't happening. Our work is to return to a sense of spiritual and emotional grounding right at the same time. It's to face the fact that we're feeling this thing so we aren't ruled by it. This is the place in traditional Christian language for a blessing. The poet and pastor Jan Richardson explains blessing this way. She says, this is an ancient literary form. It is a distinctive constellation of words designed to call upon and convey God's desire, the desire of the holy for our wholeness and well-being, individually and in community. She says, for all the poetry and power, there's nothing magical about a blessing. A blessing will not fix us. It won't resolve the difficulty we're in or undo the harm we've caused or received. Instead, a blessing is a channel for love, a means of grace to open our eyes to recognize and receive love's help. And rather than being an indicator or a measure of God's favor, a true blessing meets us in a place of our greatest need, desperation, pain, lack. And it's meant to meet us there and provoke us, to incite us to a response. The best blessing awakens our imagination. In places of difficulty or struggle or pain, it beckons us to look closer rather than to turn away. And in such moments, a blessing challenges us not to accept how things are, but to dream of how they could be transformed. this is a moment for a blessing. And I invite you, if you'd like a blessing this morning, if you want to try this, if you're ready to bless your hands for action, to do climate justice in the world, as the music begins in just a moment, to come forward to the table in the back half of the room or down here at the front, and we'll pour a little water over your hands, and we'll bless you with these words. Friend, you are commissioned to act for climate justice. I bless your hands with water. May they do the work that must be done. The Reverend Molly Hausch Gordon writes this, which she calls a not at all joking, and in fact totally serious list of how to survive the end of the world. The world is ending all around us and a new one being born all around us. And this is how to survive it. Get to know your neighbors. Feed them. Let them feed you. Watch each other's kids, grandkids, pets. Develop the muscle of generosity like you are training for an ultramarathon. Share everything you can with anyone who asks, and ask for what you need. Get in touch with your body. You need it, and it knows things. Pay attention to what is happening below your neck. Tell the truth. Tell it to yourself first. Sit at the feet of your most vulnerable neighbors and your own most vulnerable places. They have the most to teach you about survival. Listen. Remember your ancestors and the things they survived. Find the resilience that's your birthright and the courage that made a way for your life. Practice taking risks. Show up in every struggle where someone is fighting for their dignity, because that's how we all survive. Learn about reparations, about native sovereignty. Double down on exercising supremacy systems from your soul. Learn to be tender. Refuse to be hardened. Let your heart be moved every damn time. Root in the place you are. Learn its history. Learn its geography. Learn its seasons. Sing a lot and dance. Make art. Make love. Rest luxuriously. Eat. The world is ending and beginning now. We are surviving now. Let us love. Let us connect. Let us fight like hell for the dignity of each and all. Amen.